Hey everybody, I'm David. Welcome to my channel, My Yard Sale. Today I just have a couple of just little knick-knack thoughts that I wanted to put up on my channel, and I want to talk a little bit about my health update and just general updates. So last week was, I want to say, kind of an interesting week because I've been bouncing around with fasting and intermittent fasting and longer term fasting and just general health health benefit fasting. I did post the other day on what I believe is the glycation that I've been experiencing, and fasting helping glycation, which I have extremely high hopes that it does help that fasting does help glycation, because I am 99% sure that what I'm experiencing is glycation. So last week I had the need to walk probably a little bit farther than I generally walk during the day. And I walked down to where I needed to walk. And when I was walking back, I, um, I was going up a small set of stairs. I lost my footing and I went down. Boom. And I basically pancake smashed my face on a cement stair, on a cement stair step, and or very close to the step, like on a cement part. And I mean, I actually hit pretty hard. I dented myself up pretty good. But the most interesting thing is this watch recognized that I fell and started sending me an alert if they should call help, which generally I wouldn't really be super excited about that. But last week, I will say, when I hit the ground, I laid there for a second, kind of checking to see, is everything okay? Am I alive? Am I knocked out? Did I not get knocked out and wake up? And the watch kept making a noise, like asking if it should call, help. And I did turn it off until I don't tell them I didn't need help. But I feel kind of happy to have this watch, just because that could have been a bigger issue than it was. Like when I finally got my senses straight and I got up and got back into my house, I realized that I could have been out there for a while. And quite frankly, if it was freezing, if it was winter, I could fall down in my hallway and end up freezing to death out there. So I'm actually pretty glad that this Apple Watch fall, or this fall detection thing, and I don't know if it works on an iPhone or not, but it definitely works on the watch. But I'm thankful that that works, and that if worse comes to worse, that I can possibly use that. I haven't ever had to call 911 or medical help, but I guess I could also ask my watch to call that as well, which is, I guess, a tiny, tiny bit of comfort. I'm not getting any younger, and my health has been having issues, so this gives me just one tiny sense of security that I feel like I can feel a little bit happy about. So I did do a longer fast last week after I researched all this information about glycation. And again, like I said, I posted this thing about glycation the other day. I was that excited about sharing it because I feel like it's relevant. And I feel like it's probably relevant not just to me, but to a lot of people. But I got to say that I need to skip the longer fasts. I'm changing my fast schedule again, which I know I keep changing and posting, and and maybe it's a little bit redundant and kind of just a pain to hear it over and over and over again. But I definitely had to revisit my fasting schedule, because what I was trying to do wasn't impossible, but it was difficult for me to adhere to. I had watched this video where they were talking about fasting for, I don't know, 2 or 3 days and then doing this fast and then that fast and then once a week or once a month doing a longer fast. And I'm going to be honest, it was just too much to keep track of, even with my really cool Easy Fast app that I have on my watch and my phone to keep track of it. It's too difficult to keep up with multiple fasting schedules, weekly or hourly. It's just a pain in the ass. So I needed to figure out, why exactly am I fasting? I'm not fasting to lose weight. If I lose any more weight, I'm gonna I'm gonna not weigh anything. I'm fasting for autophagy. I have all these like metabolic issues, these nerve issues that I need to try to use fasting to resolve through autophagy. So what I've come to, and I'm posting this because if you guys have any thoughts on this, I'm open to hear it below. I'm curious to know what you think. I am going to be fasting 17 hours a day and eating the rest of the day. I was going to do 18 hours a day, 18/6, but 17 hours just made more sense. Although 18/6 makes a lot of sense. I want to get max autophagy, which is 17 hours. Actually, it starts and really kicks in 17 hours. I think it maxes at like 50 hours, but I'm not good at fasting beyond 48 hours. I'm not going to be doing 50-hour fasts. I did do it, and I feel like I did get benefits from it, but I feel like for me, the one long-term fast a week or a month or even every 6 months or a year, I don't think that I'm going to get the right benefit out of that as much as I'll get a middle to longer term fast every day. So I'll fast for 17 hours and then I'll eat the rest of the day. Because, well, part of the problem with the fast that I was doing is I didn't give myself enough time, eat enough calories to keep the weight on my system. Even though I feel like my glucose, my insulin sensitivity is starting to come back, I wasn't giving myself enough time in the day to eat enough calories to gain the weight. So I went through a longer term fast, which again, I feel like it did benefit me because I feel like some things may have reset in my system, but I lost more weight again, even more than I did before. And then as soon as I ended that fast and started eating the next day, I started gaining weight like I'd lose a pound, 2 pounds. I'd gain a pound overnight based on how much I've eaten, which I guess is a good thing because before I would eat and my body would just process whatever I ate into sugar, and then I would end up having to go to the bathroom 37 times to get the sugar out of my system. Now when I eat, I guess I'm happy to see that I'm gaining weight. So I'm hoping that going on from here, I'll be able to add the calories, and I'm trying to be smart about the calories. But I'm hoping to add the calories and start gaining weight again. I hope. Like, I don't even know what to do after this, but I hope. So I'm pretty happy about some of the things that I've learned in the last week. And if you guys have any questions on anything that I just said, do me a favor, leave it below. And again, I'm open to all comments and thoughts. I'm always looking for some other way to think this through or think about it. So yes, I am skipping the longer fasts and I'm keeping to the shorter regular ones. I feel like I can benefit more by having a slightly longer fast period every day, a shorter eating period, kind of staying focused on eating enough calories in that shorter period to keep my weight up, and then my body enjoying the autophagy of the longer portion of the fast. I think that'll be a more beneficial to my system. And quite frankly, I almost think that's the right way to do it for everybody. I mean, yes, I do see the benefit in a 36-hour or 48-hour or 50-hour fast. I see the benefit in that, but I feel like that needs to be purposeful. I don't know if that should be a daily fasting schedule. It just doesn't totally make sense. So in prior posts, I had talked about itchy spots on my skin, and I thought that it was maybe the nerves recovering in those portions of my body, and I thought that was what I was feeling and experiencing. But now I'm thinking that was incorrect. Even though I did read that recovering some sensation in the nerves and different areas of your body can give you itchy sensations. But what I will say that I think I was experiencing is when I was loading up on carbs, when I was eating sugar, like maybe not that exact day, but pretty shortly after that, I would get itchy spots on my skin. And what I found is that those spots were um, were itchy because they were dry, and I think just my body was just sucking the moisture out of that portion of my body to be able to process carbs and sugar, and it was making those parts of my skin itchy, which I'm glad that now that I've pretty much cut the sugar back out, I'm not experiencing that anymore. But I thought that was interesting because I had talked about itchy spots getting being the sensation of recovering nerves, and I'm posting it here because I want to make sure that I say that I think that I was wrong. I'm pretty sure I was wrong. Actually, I'm 99% sure I was wrong. I think that it was just because those were the spots that were losing most of the moisture in the skin parts, that my body was stealing the moisture from that area to be able to process liquids and get sugar, carbs out of my system. So one thing that I am changing that is I think beneficial is I stopped eating the protein shake from Walmart, which I'm going to be honest, that protein shake from Walmart, it was delicious. It was whey protein, which I think the biggest benefit of me eating that whey protein is I realized that um, sucralose wasn't really causing me the problems that I thought that it was causing me problems. So I feel like I can eat something with sucralose in it. Um, so eating that whey protein did kind of show that to me. And then um, and then the whey protein itself, before whey protein kind of didn't do me good. And this last cycle with the whey protein, I seemed to get by a little bit easier. And I don't think it was the whey protein or the sucralose that caused me problems before. I think it was just my metabolism. I think I was just wrecked. And of course, while I was eating those things, I was probably eating Pop Tarts and Lucky Debbie snacks and garbage that just made things worse. But once now that I've kind of cut most of that, I'm gonna say most of that because I haven't I haven't eaten anything like that in quite some time, but I'm not gonna say that I've completely quit because um, I still think about great value toaster pastries pretty regularly. Whenever I'm hungry and I could use a sweet snack, that's what I think about. So yeah. So I am eating huel again, and I tried a couple new flavors, and I want to share this because that huel stuff is a protein shake. It's a meal replacement, not a food replacement. So you can replace a meal. You can replace breakfast. You can replace lunch. You get enough protein. You get enough vitamins. You get enough carbs. You get enough out of the shake itself. A 2 scoop shake is enough to equal a meal. And I'm trying to not eat 3 huel meals a day. I'm trying to eat 1 or 2 just to get the calories, and quite frankly, it's like a treat. It tastes delicious. So it is kind of a quick treat for me. But I'm trying to add that to eating at least 1 or 2 normal meals to increase my calories. I need more calories. But so I want to say that This I tried in this last order that I ordered. I bought the Huel chocolate, and I'm just gonna say that that stuff is delicious. It tastes like eating a brownie shake. Like the chocolate in that shake, they nailed that chocolate, and then they add enough stuff into it with the like I don't even know exactly what they add into it. They add in flax. They add in a bunch of different stuff that makes it so that the shake isn't like completely watery like some of the other shakes that I've tried and had. Like when you eat a Huel shake, after you eat it, it actually feels like you ate a meal. It doesn't feel like you just drank a thing of chocolate milk. It actually feels like you maybe ate a couple of brownies with milk. Like it actually feels like you ate something, which I really like. Even when I was drinking the shakes before, even the pea protein shakes that I used to make, I didn't really like those because they were thin and they didn't make me feel full. Like if I ate two Huel chocolate shakes, like pretty quickly one after another, I feel like I would be full enough to not feel like I need to eat anything for probably the rest of the day, especially after I've been doing these fasts. I don't know that I would be hungry at all. Actually, like if I wake up, when I wake up in the morning, if I'm hungry, if I eat a Huel shake, I'm actually not hungry at all for the rest of the day. I feel like I need to eat it around 6 at night just because I know that I need the calories to try to keep my weight up. So I felt like I had some metabolic issues with Huel shakes before several months ago, and I thought it was the sucralose and the protein, and quite frankly, I don't think it was any of that. I think it was just me and all the other garbage that I was eating. But I will say this: the Huel stuff is not cheap. Like per meal, I feel like it's fairly reasonable, but the experience is is better than a lot of the other shakes that I've had. I can eat a Huel shake or drink a Huel shake, and I feel like I just ate something, and it tastes delicious. It's really good. The chocolate one, like I said, it tastes like eating a brownie, which I'm at a point in my cycle of in my cycles where eating a high protein, high fiber shake that tastes like a brownie is a positive thing for me. It's the right thing for me to do. And it lets me not think about those great value toaster pastries and some of the other garbage that I like to squeeze in my meals. So the I have a couple of other flavors that I'll taste in the next, I don't know, 2 months. Hopefully 2 months. Hopefully it'll last me that long. But that chocolate is, I'm just gonna say, really nice. It's very good. I have a vanilla one that I'm gonna try in the next couple of months, and I have tried some other ones that I've liked quite a bit. But this Huel shake, again, it's not cheaper than the rest of them. But the thing that I hated about some of the other shakes is I feel like I could just keep eating shakes until I just know that I've had too many because they don't fill me up. But the Huel shakes, again, I don't know if it's the fat in there or the flax seeds, the chia seeds. I don't really know exactly what it is that makes those Huel shakes feel so filling. But I have a shaker that I put the shake in, obviously, and I shake it up. And when I'm done with it, I'm not really hungry again for hours. So, I mean, I can see the Huel calling themselves a meal replacement, and I believe it true because when I eat a Huel shake for breakfast, I don't need to eat anything else for breakfast. If I eat it for lunch, I don't really need anything else for lunch. I could probably eat it for dinner, but I prefer to do something else. But again, it's a meal replacement. It's not a food replacement. I see how people ask them on their on their forums, can they just eat huel all the time? Which I think you probably could, but I don't think for our bodies, I don't think that's the right thing to do. I think our bodies need other stuff besides just any kind of shake. But for a meal replacement, huel has got my thumbs up completely. I really like it, and I will continue to use it. And I'm glad to be able to use it again without feeling like I'm just wrecked. And again, I don't think it was the sucralose. I don't think it was the amount of protein. I don't think it was. It's they don't even use they do not use whey protein. They use plant protein, and they use the same kind of plant protein most plant protein shakes use. They use pea protein. They use I can't remember the proteins they use, but it's the right proteins. It's the right proteins you want to see on a shake like this. Um, anyway, so I am eating Huel shakes again, and I'm really enjoying them. I'm thankful to Huel for selling me some more. Again, it's not the cheapest, but per meal with what you get, I think it's pretty reasonably priced, and they do have some pretty good benefits for people that subscribe and reorder pretty frequently. So I'm pretty happy about that. Anyways, that's about it for me. Besides pancake smashing my face last week and getting through that, my watch trying to call 9/11 for me, which is kind of good. I'm happy to have that. It's crazy weather right now. You can see it's nice and sunny right now. It's going to be 70 today, but it was 40 degrees last night, which for me, that is not a pleasant temperature. I think if you live in Florida and you're used to 96 degrees, 40 is probably pretty nice. But for me, not quite so much. Because when it gets down to 40 at night, that means it's 40 to 50 degrees inside my house over, 8 or 10 hours at night. And then I'm in my house, not freezing, but pretty cold. Like I could almost turn the heat on. I actually did use my electric blanket the last day, yesterday, because it was cool enough that I needed to warm up a little bit. I didn't want to start stacking on like pajamas and socks because then it sucks because you get hot, you get too hot, and then it's a real pain to put all that stuff on and then start peeling all that stuff off. It's easier to just turn an electric blanket on or off. So again, to revisit what I just said, the Apple Watch, thumbs up the Apple Watch for potentially calling help if I needed help after pancake smashing my face. Huel shakes, I'm pretty happy with again. And not that I was unhappy before, I was just a little bit not sure that it was the right thing. But I feel like it's the right thing again. And the weather's nice, so I'm happy about that. I had the weirdest thing happen last week. Well, this week. Like I have obviously an iPhone or a phone, and I started seeing that ultra wideband was starting to show up on my phone, that it was connecting to 5G and ultra wideband, which where I live, in the dump where I live, which is not a dumpy place, but upstate New York has terrible Verizon. And my carrier, my phone carrier, gets pushed through the Verizon network. I have Visible, and they use the Verizon network. I saw the Verizon network start showing ultra wideband and 5G on my phone, which I was actually kind of excited about. And then I noticed that the bars were one, or they would just disappear and I wouldn't have connection. And I was starting to think if I should complain, I was going to call my neighbor and ask him if he knows what's up because he seems to know these kind of things. And then the next day I saw that Verizon had a super huge outage. So now I'm hoping that Verizon gets their shit together, and I'm hoping that upstate New York somehow benefits from them getting squared away and getting their stuff straight. And I'm hoping that I'll get back to having like normal, decent cell phone coverage, because my cell phone coverage stinks, and I hope it gets better. Anyways, that's all I have to say. Hope everything's good with you guys. Hope you had a great weekend. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.